Hi, my fellow comic collectors. This video is going to be hopefully as exciting as it is for me. I don't know. It's like I was just so excited about this comic that I just picked up. Um, what happened was I'm a big Incredible Hulk fan, and I have a very cool, very awesome comic that I just picked up, and it is Tales of Suspense number 39. And it is the first appearance of Iron Man. And you'll notice it's a pretty high grade, 7.0. So I was super excited to pick this up. I was almost speechless at the beginning of this video because it's just so exciting to get this comic. I actually had an opportunity to buy this a long, long time ago for cheap. Not really cheap, but somewhat cheap. There was a local comic shop and it went totally out of business. And this was during that sort of 90s bust when comics were kind of really, really hyped and then the whole market tanked. And this was just one of those comic shops that was hit hard by it. And I almost picked up the comic at that time. I was like, I saw it on the wall. I didn't really know what it was. I thought, hey, it was a cool Iron Man comic. But, I didn't pick it up. I ended up picking up some other long boxes and a whole bunch of gold keys and a whole bunch of things like that really cheaply. And I could have bought it. And they said everything in the store was 50% off guide, which would have been an awesome deal. However, fast forward a few years. I mean, I didn't have any money back then anyway. So probably even back then, even at half guide, I probably couldn't afford it. But fast forward a few years. I saw this one on eBay and I saw that, it is a blue label, but it's not, it's considered restored because I'm not sure if you can see, but this one little corner, somebody took a pair of scissors and trimmed it. So it's a trimmed copy. So it's not, I shouldn't say restored. It's actually a green label because it's been trimmed. So in theory, it would have been a green label. So is it green label or restored? I think it would be considered restored. Sorry, a purple label. So, that does decrease the value just because somebody trimmed literally a little bit on that corner. So not a major restoration, but when I saw it, they had it at 4,000 US, 4,400 opening bid, but opening bid. So I was expecting it to go really high, because typically even with the restored and all that kind of stuff, this comic goes for anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 in this grade. And I was like, okay, this is going to go up and I'm not going to be able to afford it. But he also had best offer. So instead of offering like 5,000 or something where I would sort of assume that that's where the auction was going to take it, I offered below what the opening bid was. I offered 4,000. And the guy contacted me and he said he wanted to do a kind of a private bid, a private sale. And he was in Canada and I'm in Canada, so that's really convenient. And he's actually not that far away from me. He's about an hour drive. And he said, I'll do it for cash. I'm like, sure, sure. And it was 4,000 US. But then I said, well, that's roughly 5,500 Canadian. Could you do 5,000 Canadian? And he was like, sure. So I was like, wow. So it's even better price. So I got this one for 5,000 Canadian. And I was super excited because, as I said, it goes for anywhere from 15 to 20,000 US. And I was like so surprised that he was willing to do that. And I was actually really scared because here I am like driving like an hour some out of my way to get to his place. I had no idea what this guy was going to be like. I checked his information on eBay to make sure that he was a reputable guy. And he was a good guy actually, but I was just kind of paranoid going to some random person's house with like a big load of cash, like $5,000 worth of cash, like sort of paranoid. So, I get there. He's a really nice guy actually. And he even had an Amazing Fantasy number 15 that he wanted to sell. And I was like, I don't have that much money. I'm not that rich. This is pretty much all my money. So, he gave me, we exchanged money, and, I'm going to keep in touch with him. He has a whole bunch of cool comics, and, I might pick up some more stuff from him because he's, offering them at really great prices. Now, he told me how he acquired this one. And he said that what happened was when he was a kid, he picked this up. And he picked it up when he met some guy who was a really nice guy and that collected comics and had a big barn filled of comics. And he was saying that the guy was like a really nice guy, and he really wanted to help kids get interested in comics. And he said, you just go into the barn and take 10 comics of whatever you want. Whatever you want, whatever's in the boxes, you can take whatever comics you want, 10 of them. And then, just don't tell me what you took, and that's it. You just go. So he's like, okay, sure. So he went into the barn, and he saw this one. He saw 2 copies of it, actually. He picked both. He took both copies. He took 2 copies of it because it had a cool cover. He didn't even know that it was the first appearance of Iron Man. And he basically took that, and he took a bunch of other, keys. And, that was it. So he got it pretty cheaply, basically for free. And, he had a pretty good experience. And so he had 2 of them. He needed some cash maybe to buy some more comics. And he, was willing to sell it fairly cheaply. So I know actually 5,000 is not cheap, like not cheap at all, but for what this is, it's a high grade. It's got little restoration, but not much. It's a very beautiful cover. It's hard to see because it's in the plastic, but it is just a really beautiful comic. And it's just a very cool story. So I actually read the story after watching the movie. The movie, he's like in like some kind of Middle Eastern country. In this comic, this is older comic. So this is like during the 60s, like 63, right? And this is during the Vietnam War. So in this, Tony Stark is actually, he goes over to Vietnam. So this is all, the story actually happens in Vietnam. And it's kind of a cooler story because in the Vietnam War situation, Tony Stark, he's got this cool weapon that can amplify the power of whatever weapon by 1,000 times. And he's testing it in this, Vietnam War situation. But he gets captured. And he gets captured by this Vietnamese warlord called Wu. And the Vietnamese warlord basically says to any prisoner that is his captive, basically he'll let them go free if they can defeat him in a hand-to-hand battle. So so it's kind of a crazy situation. And when Tony Stark gets captured, he hits there's a bomb that goes off, and fragments of the bomb go into his chest and are like gradually working their way to his heart, and they're going to kill him. And he only has like a few days to live. That's the story in the comic, that he only has a few days to live. And this Chinese warlord thinks, hey, I'm going to put him to work for the last 2 days that he has to live, and I'm going to get him to make me some awesome weapon. So he puts him into a room, and it just happens that there's this Vietnamese Nobel Prize winning physicist in the same room, and they basically share ideas on how to build an awesome weapon thing. And what they build is the suit. And the suit actually, the whole chest piece, it's not like in the movie where it's just that one little thing in the center. It's like the whole chest piece is what keeps Tony Stark alive. And and basically what happens is, he escapes, and then he challenges Wu in hand-to-hand battle, but he's wearing a suit, so he totally destroys this warlord. And then the warlord's like pissed. So he's like, hey, I'm going to get all my men to shoot at you. And so, it's like a big battle. But Tony Stark, obviously wins. And that's the end of the first thing. He's kind of worried because now he kind of relies on the suit. And he has to wear the suit in order to live. And it's basically he has to wear that chest piece. So it's the same kind of, they give a lot of, details about Tony Stark, who he is and what kind of person he is, that he's really this kind of playboy kind of, typical, very similar to the movies where he's just this, so this comic really sums up that first movie really well. It's based on this comic, obviously, but it's a really great one to have in my collection. I'm so excited to have it. And, that's my story about it. Like, there's just, what can I say? I'm just excited to have this. If you can pick this up cheaply, I recommend doing so because it's just a cool comic. So yeah, thanks for watching. And tell me, what cool comics have you come up with? Tell me your stories. I'd love to hear them. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.